fans have been queuing since early morning to make sure they don't miss a second of the build-up to the biggest day in the club's 117-year history. Over 100 coaches from across the south of England have been commandeered to ferry Reading's blue and white army to the National Stadium.
When you think when they play against like Frost and beat them.
Don't cry, love, they ain't lost yet.
After a leisurely breakfast, the Reading players are just surfacing at the start of the greatest day in their careers. It's also a special moment, of course, for the club's directors and officials. And even coach driver Bert Newman. A word from Chairman Roger Smee, perhaps telling his skipper what to do when he lifts the cup.
Practice the swimmer keeper saying.
They look like extras in a wedding video, but in reality this is the final team talk before the big match. Coach John Hazelden goes over some of the points he's been making in training throughout the week. And then it's next stop Wembley. Charlie Allen's been the Reading kit man for 25 years. Wembley's a far cry from the likes of Crewe and Halifax.
Hello, I'm pleased to meet you.
It's a complete.
Yeah. Go do both of them.
Got to do both.
Yeah. Am I ready for you?
There's an ethnic taste in there, man, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I look as old as you. You look older than me.
Away, lad! Away, the lad.
Get us
Just 90 minutes to kick off, and the Royals arrive at the home of English soccer. It's manager Ian Branfoot's third trip to Wembley. On 2 previous occasions, he ended up a loser. For Luton, it's the first of at least 3 trips to the National Stadium in a memorable cup season. They clinched this Simod Cup final appearance with victories over Everton, Stoke and Reading's near neighbours Swindon. Reading, meanwhile, have knocked out 4 First Division sides to reach their first ever Wembley final. Queen's Park Rangers were the first to go back in December, before near neighbours Oxford fell to a Dean Horrocks goal at Elm Park in the new year. Then came those dramatic extra-time victories over Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest and Bradford City. And who could forget that nerve-tingling penalty shootout against Coventry? As the 2 mascots exchange club pennants, it's time to take a look at the sides. Luton line up with Les Seeley in goal, young fullback Tim Breaker is at 2, ex-Manchester United star Ashley Grimes is 3, at number 4 is Darren McDonough, who takes midfield role, skipper Steve Foster is at 5, Northern Ireland international Mal Donaghy 6, another Northern Ireland international Danny Wilson 7, England international Brian Steen in the number 8 shirt. At 9, Mick Harford, the striker brought into the game by Reading manager Ian Branfoot when he was at Lincoln. Mark Steen is at 10, brother of Brian. And at 11, Ian Allinson, the player who's formerly on Arsenal and Stoke's books. Reading, of course, are without cup-tight strikers Steve Moran and Billy Whitehurst, and the man who did so much to get them here to Wembley, Dean Horrocks. Steve Francis is in goal. He was here 2 years ago with Chelsea. Colin Bailey at 2. Steve Richardson, only his 2nd game after a 12-week layoff with a thigh strain. Stuart Bevan at 4, and he took penalties here as a 14-year-old 14 years ago. Skipper Martin Hicks at 5 in his testimonial season. What a day for him. Keith Curls at 6, and this is his 3rd successive Wembley appearance today. Lyndon Jones, 7. At 8, Les Taylor, and he was here as skipper of Watford in the 1984 FA Cup final. Mick Tates at 9, he's playing up front again today, a role he's enjoyed so much in the Simod Cup run. 10, perhaps the hero for Reading fans, Michael Gilts. And at 11, Neil Smiley, another man with Wembley experience. He was here in 83 with Brighton. So here they come, the moment most Reading fans believe could never happen. The 2 sides led out by Ian Branfoot and Ray Harford. What a very special moment. The 2 sides being presented to the managing director of the sponsors, Malcolm Nathan. The 2 sides break away then, Reading running to the end where their supporters are massed. A tremendous turnout by the people of Reading. Looking around the ground, it's as though they outnumbered the Luton supporters by almost 3 to 1. Nervous moments these, of course, for both sides, really anxious just to get on with the business in hand now, and that, of course, is winning the Simod Cup. For Luton, it's the first of 3 visits to Wembley this season. They're already booked to appear in the Littlewoods Cup final against Arsenal, and will also be here for the league centenary match in a fortnight's time. Added to that, they're still in the FA Cup semi-finals. There's Gary Peters knocking the ball in. It would be nice to see him to get a run out this afternoon. Remember, Gary Peters and Jerry Williams, the substitutes. Peters, of course, in his last season as a professional footballer after 18 distinguished years. This is it then, ready for the off. Referee John Martin signals to his 2 linesmen. The 1988 Simod Cup final is about to get underway. The ball comes out to Harford, an early touch for the England international. Into Mark Steen. Mark Steen, such a mobile player, pulling defenders around. Danny Wilson directing operations early on. And the first touch for Reading goes to Neil Smiley, who immediately leaves it for Steve Richardson to take the throw. Sensibly sending it back to Steve Francis. Grateful, I'm sure, for the early touch. Lyndon Jones is there, he's flicked it on, Tate's there, Seeley's off his line. Chance for Reading, can they get the ball into the box? Scrambled away by Luton, and it's Allenson who's able to come away with the ball. Great opportunity there for Reading. If Jones could have got the ball across, Gilks was at the far post, and who knows what could have happened. That came with just a minute gone. That could have been a sensational start for Reading. Curls there, looking sharp at the back already. Been so consistent this season. Curls there again, and Reading working hard to snuff out Brian Steen. And it's that man, Keith Curl, who knocks the ball back to Steve Francis. Hicks and Harford up for the first time. Hicks got the better of Harford that time, but it's out now with Steen. Richardson sends it long in the direction of Gilks. A race for Gilks, perhaps? Played forward by Breaker. Harford's behind the defence. Looks for Brian Steen. Luton getting people forward. But Harford gets his lines crossed, and Lyndon Jones can come away with the ball to Tate. Grimes finds Allenson. Good tackle by Martin Hicks. Quick ball forward though, but Keith Curl, cool as ever, into the corner. And well played, Mal Donaghy. Northern Ireland international, who's highly regarded in the First Division, showing there a touch of his class. First free kick of the game. Rob McDonough just getting caught there in midfield. So perhaps the first moment of danger for the Royals. Free kick for Luton just inside the Reading half. Steve Foster, headband around his forehead, will take. It's aimed at Harford. Grimes has the ball out wide on the left. Far post cross. Harford and Hicks up for that. It drops for Steen. Referee Martin's there. Whistle's gone. Free kick to Reading. Slight nudge perhaps from Harford as he went up for the ball with Martin Hicks. And that's going to be a fascinating clash this afternoon. Harford, who's just broken into the England team, up against Reading's most experienced player, Martin Hicks. What a day for Hicks, his testimonial season, and really this must be something he could never have dreamed of would really happen. Devon plays the ball forward for Tate. Tate looking for support. Gilks is there, it's a good burst into the box by Gilks. Bailey can play it in. Looking for Tate, offside. Five minutes gone here at Wembley. Luton Town 0, Reading 0. Good start by both sides. They seem to have settled down quickly, not showing the nerves that perhaps we would have expected, particularly from the Royals. A very confident start, and I'm sure manager Ian Branford will be pleased with the way they've settled down to the task. Getting offside track, working well there. Put at least 3 players offside. That's something I know they spend a lot of work on, getting this offside track drilled to perfection. Wasted really. There's an opportunity to put Luton under pressure at the back. Martin Hicks overhitting it though. But Reading can at least pin Luton into their own half. Gilks working well. Gilks has won the ball. Tries to get round Breaker, but Breaker stuck to his task well. Breaker, who looked such a good overlapping fullback in the semi-final victory against Swindon. He's somebody Reading will have to watch this afternoon. But for now, Reading have a chance to get that ball into the box for the first time. Jones knocks it back in, away from Foster. Allinson's there, Jones sorts it out. Played in by Taylor. Gilks is behind the defence. Good turn. Good challenge by Foster though, with Tate there. In fact, it was Lyndon Jones getting in where the feet were flying, and referee Martin says that's a free kick. Richardson losing out to Steen there. It's Wilson breaking through. Good ball into Brian Steen. Bailey so quick to see the danger. But look, Reading aren't out of the woods yet. But McDonough can't get his cue right, and it goes out of play. Taylor heads the ball forward. Donaghy's in first. Wilson, good ball down the line. The Steen brothers working well down the right flank. But so's Keith Curl. Well played. Long ball from Taylor, nearly put Tate away, but Gilks can now have a run down the left. Men in the middle. Poor cross though. And Allinson will come away with it for Luton. Spreads the play to Mark Steen on the right flank. Handball? No, referee Martin waves play on. And Keith Curl sorting things out well again. And it comes to Les Taylor. Neil Smiley even. Smiley with time and space to run. Good challenge. And it comes to Jones. Jones in space. He's got Tate making a run at the far post. Bailey now. Poor cross again. Reading really must get the ball in when they have those opportunities. The men up there looking for the good pass in, but Bailey not quite got it there. Taylor now. Jukes gets a touch. And Jones has a go. Corner. First corner of the game to Reading. 9 minutes on the clock. And Jones made that really a good challenge on Donaghy. And now perhaps a chance for Martin Hicks to get forward and add his aerial ability to the Reading attack. Bevan will take the corner, left-footed. Gilks. What can Gilks do now? Touch to Bevan. Oh, nice effort. Just ran out of play. Reading must be delighted with this start. They're putting their passes together. No signs of nerves whatsoever. And it really is looking good so far. On by Steen. Smiley and Wilson doing battle there. Referee Martin says that's a free kick. Rhymes, challenged by Tate. Poor ball, and Gilks has a chance to run here at the Luton defence. Tate's arriving. Well defended, Danny Wilson. Grimes, long ball to Mark Steen. Harford goes on the run. Allenson. Breaker, under pressure from Smiley. Good hassling that by Reading. And indeed they may get a corner out of it. Did it go? Foster. Steen. Hicks in well. Richardson. Wilson. Tackles flying in from the Reading players. Flick by Steen. Offside again. Still Luton 0, Reading 0, remember. 11 minutes gone. Hicks with the free kick. Donaghy up well, away by McDonough. Bailey will send it back. Harford works well. Steen. Hicks a bit late there, free kick. And once again, perhaps Foster may come forward for this. Reading containing the Steen brothers well, though. That was a fear in the camp beforehand. The fact the Steens move around so much, they're always a threat. And it's with Brian Steen now. Good crossing, and it's Luton's first corner. A corner apiece then in these opening 12 minutes. Ian Allenson will take the kick, the ex-Arsenal and Stoke player. It's headed to Mark Steen. Harford's there, it's a goal! Reading have fallen behind. 13 minutes on the clock, it's Luton 1, Reading 0. Reading will be sick with themselves because the marking at that far post was really all over the place. Allison's corner fell to Mark Steen. Mark Steen knocked it down, and there was Harford diving forward, and Steve Francis no chance. Questions really be asked as this ball comes across, and Steve Francis will want to know why the challenge wasn't made, and that's really not the kind of start Reading wanted after a confident opening, and now they've got it all to do. Luton 1, Reading 0. And they may be outnumbered, but the Luton fans have really woken up now. Foster hoofs that clear to Harford. In for Steen. Francis taking no chances. And Tate does well against Donaghy. But Breaker it is who can feed the ball out. Steen working well to Allenson. Mark Steen. Grimes first time. Reading defence well out again. Reading have just got to keep their composure now. They've gone a goal down, but they're playing well enough. Don't panic, that's got to be the message. Tate gets the touch on that one before Foster. Bailey clears to Tate and Foster again. It's Donaghy, in fact. Donaghy getting the better of the Reading man. Grimes plays it forward. Harford and Hicks are up. Steen. Wilson on the right. Harford. Breaker and Bevan tangling. And Bevan comes away with it. Looks for Gilks. Gilks is away. He's got Donaghy in support. Tate's making a great run into the box. Tate's there. And what an effort. Seeley got there. A good save by Seeley. A lovely move by Reading. Michael Gilks down the left, and Luton aren't out of the woods yet. What can Neil Smiley do with it? Good drive, but never really going to trouble Seeley, but that was a lovely move down the left flank. Gilks outpaced Tim Breaker, ball into the box, and Seeley did well to deny the on-rushing Tate. Hope for Reading then, 16 minutes gone. Remember, it's Luton 1, Reading 0. But that was certainly Reading's best chance of the game so far. Breaker plays it forward. Jones clears. Steen. Wilson. Bevan working well in that midfield slot. Breaker by Smiley. More danger perhaps for Reading here. The ball into the box could cause a few problems. Same towards Harford. Hicks up well. Taylor can clear, but no, it's back, and Harford's in behind the defence. McDonough in support. McDonough to Steen, down to his brother Brian. Richardson finds Smiley. Smiley cuts inside. Good vision from Smiley, finds Jones. Forward for Les Taylor, making a good run forward there. And Donaghy hits it high and mighty into the stand. Jones with the throw. Lack of movement really for Reading there. Luton not too much difficulty clearing, but Hicks plays it back in. So does Taylor. Bit of head tennis from the two of them, and it's McDonough challenging Taylor and comes out for Allenson. Wilson. Good ball brought down by Harford. Can he put Mark Bryanstein in? Hicks is there. Coolly done by the big man. Reading looking most assured, despite the fact they're that goal down. Remember, Mick Harford scored it, 13 minutes on the clock. The only real time Reading have been put under any pressure in the box. Foster clears the danger there. Only as far as Taylor. Too far out, really. Grimes. Donaghy, Luton trying to build from the back, which is what they do so well on their plastic pitch at Kenilworth Road. Foster. Brilliantly brought down by Hicks. Smiley has it. Jukes is going on a run, and Smiley has a tremendous ball from Neil Smiley. Michael Jukes on the edge of the box. Chip! It's there! Reading have equalised. 20 minutes on the clock. Luton 1, Reading 1. Tremendous finish by Michael Jilks. He promised the fans a goal yesterday, and he's sure enough come up trumps. Lovely bit of play by skipper Hicks. And the ball from Neil Smiley really ripped the Luton defence apart. Look at that. And Jilks did the rest. Now what can they do? They've got themselves back in the game. They now want to keep it tight. Make sure they don't give away any more sloppy goals. And certainly Jukes' pace is causing problems for that Luton rearguard. And I wonder what they all think of it. Jones is in. Reading really upping the pace, and it comes to Bailey. Bailey, good ball for Bevan. Donaghy closing the space down, but that will be a Reading throw. And the Royals really buzzing now. Jones comes over and he's got a long throw on him. Hicks is in there, Jilks is there. And it goes over all of them, and if somebody could have reacted then. Steen now. With Richardson close by. Finds McDonald. McDonald's got time there. And Luton really wasted in the end, and it's Smiley who's able to clear. And just listen to that support from the Reading fans. We could do with a bit of that at Elm Park. Richardson fouls Steen there. Breaker with the free kick. High towards Harford. Harford's elbows high as well. Tate and Foster under that. On by Wilson. Harford gets the flick. Hicks sends it back and Tate's on behind the defence. For one moment it looked as though that might drop for Mickey Tate. Grimes now for Luton. Curl, quick as ever to cover the danger. Grimes finds Allinson. Allinson teasing Bailey. Right-footed, it's a good ball, flicked away to Wilson. Played forward from the back. There's a chance there, but well in. Back to Francis. Donaghy with the head. Taylor out to Jones. Grimes collects that. Looking for Mark Steen. Wilson. Smiley working well there in that left wing position. Neil Smiley really revels on this Wembley turf because he had one of his best ever games for Brighton when they eventually succumbed to Manchester United in an FA Cup replay by 4 goals to 0. Neil Smiley, obviously a man for the big occasion. In truth though, all Reading's players have risen to the occasion so far. Suffered that early setback when they fell behind to the Mick Harford goal, but Michael Jukes has got them back in business. The ball's with Les Taylor. Jukes is behind the defence again. What can Jukes do this time? Breakers there. Penalty! Is it a penalty? Yes! Referee John Martin, Reading have a chance to take the lead. Jukes' pace once again doing the damage. Suspicion that it may have been a fraction outside the box, but referee Martin had to make the decision in the spur of the moment, and he'd had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. And Stuart Bevan, he took these penalties against Gordon Banks as a 14-year-old in the schoolboy competition. What can he do now? 2-1. Perfect penalty. Les Seeley had no chance. 26 minutes gone. It's Luton 1, Reading 2. Perfect penalty from Stuart Bevan, right-footed high into the corner of the net. Seeley really didn't have a prayer with that. Jones now and Jukes is in behind the defence again. Seeley's out of goal. What can Jukes do? Surely he must score. Open goal, and he slipped. Oh! But for the slip, I'm sure Reading would now be leading by 3 goals to 1. And Jukes really is tearing this Luton defence apart with his pace. He's been playing at fullback for most of the season, but when you see him play like this, then he really is dynamite. And Steve Foster and Mal Donaghy must be wondering what's hit them at the back there, because he's just outpacing them every time, and at the moment, every time the ball's played through by the Reading midfield, the Royal strikers look so dangerous. On by Harford. Richardson will lay it back to Francis, just to take the sting out of things for a moment. Tate gets the touch. Donaghy. Jones. Bit of composure from Lyndon Jones. That's a good ball. In fact, Smiley might reach that. Breaker does well. What a tremendous first half hour we've had here at Wembley. 3 goals, Reading coming from behind and playing some of the best football I've seen from them all season. And what a place to do it. The ball drops to Colin Bailey. Grimes. Bailey again. And Tate battling away well. Jones. Foster cuts that one out. And Luton can come forward with Wilson. Breakers on the overlap. Breaker it is. Good ball in. There's a chance there, but nobody could get the touch until Colin Bailey popped up. And Smiley fouled by Breaker. Tremendous work there by Colin Bailey. Spotted the danger. Covered round the back of Keith Curle and Martin Hicks. And what a vital clearance that was. Tate and Donaghy again. Under that one, Donaghy wins it. Harford. Steen. It's looking wide for Allenson, but never was going to get there. Foster, no contest really against Gilks, but Smiley has it. A chance perhaps for Reading to add to their lead. Martin Hicks goes forward for it. Tate's there, Gilks is there of course, and Richardson will play the ball in. High towards Hicks. Hicks is there. Seeley gets half a fist to it. Breaker completes his job. And Harford turning well past Curl. Allenson out wide. Any support for Allenson? Has to turn back for Grimes. Miscued completely, and that will do Reading. Reading really have stopped the Hatters playing their neat one-touch football, which is normally so effective. Luton, remember, 14th in the First Division and regarded as one of the best footballing sides in the entire Football League. Reading today have stopped them doing it so far. Grimes in against Jones. Bailey has it. Luton throw. Once again, Reading can pin them right back in their own half. And really, apart from the goal in the 13th minute from Mick Harford, Steve Francis has been barely troubled by the Luton strikers. Grimes clears it. Steve Richardson up well. Breaker now. Good ball out wide from McDonough. Has got space here. Right-footed cross. Who's there? Steen's there. So was Keith Curl. Les Taylor hooks it away. And Curl's pace so often getting Reading out of trouble this season, and he's doing it again today. Foster. Offside again. 14 minutes to go of this first half, and what a first half it's been. Luton 1, Reading 2. Donaghy. McDonough. Closed down by Bevan and Taylor, and this really typifies the Reading spirit. Taylor again. For Jones. Allenson will pick that one up. Steen. Foul by Martin Hicks. Hicks says he played the ball. Referee Martin says it's a free kick. Played short to Foster. Foster 30 yards out. Good right for try. Brilliant save by Steve Francis. And he really needed to get that because that was heading for the top corner. Sweet right-footed strike by Steve Foster. Good save, Steve Francis. This is where the goal came from, remember. Reading will have to get it right this time. Harford's up. No direction though, and Reading did get it right. Foster high above Gilks. Richardson. Steve Richardson indeed looking surprisingly sharp when you bear in mind he played his first game in 12 weeks at home to Aston Villa last weekend. He can hardly have dreamed of appearing here at Wembley today And 3 weeks ago he was at Lilleshall. Ball's with Foster. Breaker with the free kick. Hicks up above Harford and Richardson well away. And that's dropped for Gilks. What can he do this time? It's out to Tate. Reading getting forward in numbers. Jones. Donaghy's done well. Grimes is there too. Allenson can clear, but Bailey wins it. Tate. Bailey now, right-footed. Gilks. Foster's there. Gilks still got a chance, he hooks it across. Neil Smiley was at the far post. Smiley now. Wilson away with it. To Steen. To Harford. Luton breaking quickly. Reading have got to get back. Reading going forward just looked so dangerous. Nobody really picking up Gilks at all, and every time he gets in behind the defence, something could happen. They've got to be sharp here though. Another free kick in a dangerous situation. Wilson the man to take it. Steen's there, lays it back to Grimes, far post to the Steen brothers, offside again. And the Reading defence really so tight this afternoon. No mistakes back there, apart from that one blemish in the 13th minute. Nine minutes to half-time now. Luton 1, Reading 2. Michael Gilks, the man who's turned the game. Foster well up under pressure from Tate. Steen gets the touch. All a bit tense in the middle there, and it now comes out for Colin Bailey. Bailey looking for Tate. Allenson. Grimes. Donaghy. Luton playing some neat triangles, but it's really far too deep. Reading forcing them back all the time. Gilks working well across there, and it's in for Mark Steen. Richardson did enough. Smiley. Played Richardson into trouble. Pearl sorts it out. And Smiley can break away. Can he get away? Well played, Breaker. Wilson. That's a poor ball though. Jones is in there. Tate. Nice touch to Jones. Can he get Gilks in? Gilks is on the left. People in the box. There's a good cross. Tate's there. And it's hit the bar. Great header from Mick Tate's not away yet. Jones in with a header. And once again, Gilks getting the service in from the left. Tate met it with the most perfect of headers. And that beat Seeley all ends up, but hit the bar. Wonderful stuff from Reading down that left wing. That was nearly the third. Hicks looks for Smiley. Fouled by Curl, but I'm sure Luton manager Ray Harford's going to be doing some tough talking at the break, because they just haven't handled Michael Gilks and Mick Tate at all at the back, and if they're going to win this game they're going to have to sort that out. They come forward at the moment though with the shape of Brian Steen. Hicks does well, but it's with Wilson. Aim towards Steen. Hicks is up well again. Taylor can't clear it. McDonough. But that's aimless really. France's comfortable save. Taylor looking for Jukes again. He's behind the defence again. Breaker sorts it out this time. And so does Foster, but Luton again always getting themselves in a tangle. Bevan now. One of the few misplaced passes really in this opening half by Reading. Breaker will come away. Blocked by Smiley. And the work rate being put in by the whole Reading side really has to be admired. Not letting a single Luton player settle on the ball for a moment. Hicks up well. McDonough. Grimes. Allinson's making a good run. Harford's there. Allinson's on the edge of the box. Chances, but Bailey nips in. And now Neil Smiley. Reading really could break quickly here. Luton have been caught forward. What can Smiley do with it? He waited too long. That was a great challenge by McDonough. Don't think Neil Smiley knew he was there. But that was another opportunity really. If the ball had gone either direction wide, what could have happened? Bevan now, dispossessing Wilson. Donaghy, cool head there. Wilson again. McDonough, Grindstein. Good ball out to Brothermark. Turns curl, great challenge by Lyndon Jones. But Harford's there for Allinson. Taylor now plays it out wide. Tate collecting. Jones, long ball forward for aim for Jilks. Whistle goes. And the first bit of niggle really in the whole afternoon so far. With 3 minutes to half time, just a little bit of bad feeling between Mick Tate and Mal Donaghy. Referee Martin making sure there's no more of that. But in truth, there's barely been a bad foul in this first half, played in a tremendous spirit. Hicks away. Into the closing moments of this first half then, and really it surpassed everybody's expectations. Reading falling behind and then coming back in such glorious style, and really they're now dictating it. Grimes will play it down the line. Harford's behind the defence, he's away. Can he get the ball in? Well played, Mick Harford, a chip, and oh, Mark Steen at the far post. If he could have met it, Reading would have been in trouble. Delightful piece of play by Mick Harford. Cut inside Colin Bailey, saw Steen arriving at the far post. The pass was just inches out. Harford, of course, renowned for his aerial ability, but he's no slouch on the ground either, as he proved there. Brian Steen. Tate wins that above Foster. And Taylor collects. Mick Tate's done a great job against Steve Foster. Remember Foster, an England international a few years ago. Tate normally plays in midfield, but he's doing a wonderful job up front for Reading today. Chasing absolutely everything. One final effort perhaps from Luton as we enter the final minute of this first half. Remember, they're losing by 2-1. Steen. Into Harford. Francis stood his ground. Steen looking for a 1-2 with Harford there. Jones has it. Jukes lurking at the far post again if he can get it there. Foster first. To Harford. Steen. Good ball by Harford that. The curl, majestic. Time up on our watch. Just wait for the referee's whistle to go. And Reading must be delighted with his first half display. Wilson turning well against Hicks. Prime supporting once more on the left. Wilson with room to play it. That's a poor ball. That will do Reading though. Referee Martin signalling to his linesman. Just seconds left now in this first half. And really, what can the Reading management say to their team after a tremendous first half display? Just more of the same, please, lads. That's it, half-time. Luton 1, Reading 2. What a story we've had in this opening 45 minutes. Manager Ian Bramfoot must be a happy man as he goes to the dressing room. His opposite number, Ray Harford, well, he's got some tough talking to do because Reading has ripped Luton apart after that awful start when Nick Harford put the Hatters in front after 13 minutes. Michael Jukes brought Reading back in it on the 20th minute with that brilliant chip over Les Seeley. And 6 minutes later, Jukes did the job again. He got in behind Breaker. Penalty, said referee John Martin, and Stuart Bevan fired the Roars in front from the penalty spot. Half-time score, Luton 1, Reading 2. Here they come then, the Reading team led out by Martin Hicks for the start of this second half. And they must be feeling mighty proud at the amount of work they put in on these first 45 minutes. And of course they have that priceless lead. Luton 1, Reading 2, the half-time score. And Reading have really put in one of their best displays of the season. And what a time and place to do it. Must have been one of manager Ian Bramfoot's easiest half-time talks. What do you say when the side's playing so well, apart from just keep doing the same things, keep your discipline, and Michael Jukes keep making those runs behind the Luton back four. The band of the Devon and Cornwall Police Regiment marching off after the half-time entertainment. I'm sure the Royals will be aiming to produce some entertainment of their own in this second half. Big day, of course, for referee John Martin from Alton. He's a credit manager. So we're all set for the second half. Reading attacking the end where their supporters are massed. And what tremendous support those fans gave in the opening 45 minutes. Neil Smiley gets it. Smiley enjoyed a lovely first half. Played the vital through ball for Jukes to get round and score that vital equaliser after 21 minutes. Wilson working well there though. Shadows beginning to creep across the stadium, but really with the glorious sunshine it truly is a Wembley final day. McDonough hooks it forward. Smiley again. Round Wilson. Can he beat Breaker too? He's got him, left foot cross. Foster had to get that because Jukes was lurking behind him. He comes away with Mark Steen. Subdued in the first half, both the Steen brothers. Really weren't allowed to play, and Curl once again snuffing them out, and Curl's going on a great run forward. Look at that pace. Breaker stuck to him well. Keith Curl, when he gets moving, he shows just why he started off as a winger in his career at Torquay United. £150,000 well spent when Ian Brownfoot picked up Keith Curl from Bristol City earlier this season. Hicks has gone forward again for the throw, but it's short this time. Richardson working as room for him. Tate's in, drops for Richardson. Steen's there. Steen coming deep, looking for the space to open Reading up. All a bit tight from Luton there though, and they've played themselves into trouble really. There's a time and place for those little triangles, and Reading have got an opportunity now with Jukes. Nearly turned Foster. Taylor. Richardson chipped in for Tate. Tate's... Jukes is there. Tate doing well to keep the ball. The pass wasn't up to standard. And Luton coming out. Harford. On by Taylor. Away by Donaghy. Oh, a frantic opening to this second half. Luton, of course, having to come out and chase the game, and that's Nick Tate behind the defence. Whistle goes. Of course, with Luton having to come out and try and get this early equaliser, there's going to be more room for Tate and Jukes. And we know what they did in the first half. Remember, Mick Tate hit the bar. Les Seeley made a good save against him, and of course those two priceless goals. Donaghy can clear. Harford and Hicks. Curl have time. Taylor jumping. Bevan. Harford working back well though. Wilson. Harford again. Too tight. Tate late on Foster there. The wrong man to pick on if you're going to upset anybody in the Luton defence. Steve Foster doesn't take any prisoners. Balls with Grimes. Hicks will eat those up. Allinson. Steen. McDonough. Luton knocking the ball around nicely at the start of this second half. With Mark Steen. Smiley working as hard as ever. Breaker. Poor ball though. Breaker not enjoying one of the best afternoons of his career. Smiley has a chance. Bevan getting forward well. Looking for support in the middle. It's into Gilks. Donaghy read it. Allenson. McDonough. Luton looking more confident at the start of the second half. 5 minutes gone in the second period. Donaghy will get there first. Central Reading keep it tight at the start of this second half. They don't want to give away any silly goals. Steen now. Picks up well. Bit harsh perhaps, but it's a free kick to Luton. Dangerous situation for Reading here. Foster, I'm sure, will come forward for this one. Wilson and Grimes are over it. Dummy by Steen. Taylor did well. Cool head. Showing his experience there. It's with McDonough. It's a good ball. Wilson's behind the defence. Good cross anywhere at the far post. That was a good ball in from Wilson, and if there had been somebody arriving at the back post, Reading could have been in trouble. Luton enjoying probably their best spell in the game so far. Reading have just got to stand firm. McDonough. Steen now. To Breaker. Steen again. Good one-touch stuff from Luton. Reading working so hard though, they really can't find any room, the Hatters, but Steen's out wide on the right. Can he get it? Good cover by Richardson. Dangerous moments these for Reading. Luton predictably coming flying out of the traps at the start of the second half. And remember, the Luton goal in the 13th minute came from a corner. This one will be taken by Danny Wilson. Harford got there, and Francis well down to his left. Marking a bit suspect possibly there. Harford met the ball before anybody. Francis had to do well. More danger. That one's towards Foster. Bailey there first. Good clearance. Allenson now. Luton trying to turn the screw a bit tighter. But that won't help. Gilks has got it. Taylor now, looking for Gilks. Reading yet to find the rhythm they showed in that sparkling first half. Good up by Harford. That's a good switch of the play to Steen. Richardson doing well. Comes off Richardson. Looked like a nasty deflection momentarily. Francis had it under his watchful eye all the way. And 10 minutes are gone in this second half. Still Luton 1, Reading 2. Can't remember seeing such an open game. An offside decision there, one of the first in this second period. Really, both sides playing open football, which was just a joy to see. That's Grimes. They get the ball in, leaves it for Allinson. That's a good cross to the far post. Steen's there, header across goal. Hicks got the vital touch. It's still there though, and Les Taylor can come away and feed Neil Smiley. What can Smiley do? He's beaten Breaker. Tate's on the far post. Tate's got a great opportunity, right foot in. It's there! Reading have scored a third. Would you believe it? What a run by Neil Smiley. He picked the ball up on the edge of his own box and ended with a defence-splitting pass. And Mickey Tate will talk us through that for years to come. Here it is, Smiley on the edge of his own box, and what a good run. Breaker will feel he should have won the ball here. And look at the space for Mickey Tate. Sweet finish. Surely now Reading have their hands half on this cup. What a quite remarkable display by the Royals. Luton had come out looking good at the start of this second half, but now Reading are in complete command. Luton 1, Reading 3. That goal coming with 11 minutes gone in the second half. Taylor looking for Jones. He's a bit tight by the looks of it. Can they really believe it on that Reading bench? Breaker's up for that one. On by Wilson. McDonough. That's for Jones. Reading are in again. Takes behind the defence. Offside. In the noise, we didn't hear the whistle. It looked like Reading were in for a fourth. And Luton are just in shreds at the back. Donaghy and Foster must wonder what's hit them this afternoon. But they'll keep going. And that picture probably says it all. The Luton end, dejected faces. Mark Steen's the man going off, replaced by Kingsley Black. Young midfielder who came on against Swindon in the semi-final and immediately had a stunning impact, providing the cross for the winner. So perhaps this is the last throw of the dice by Luton manager Ray Harford. It's with Smiley again though, and he's revelling in the space of this Luton on the Wembley turf. Grimes comes away with it. Donaghy, hustled by Taylor. Breaker. Breaker, who likes to get forward and has had no opportunity this afternoon. And it's with Bevan. Jukes have gone too early. Black's first touch. Foster forward. Richardson doing well there against Harford. Harford dropping deeper as the game progresses. Grimes into Black. Good turn. Grimes gets the cross in. Steen was there. Reading fans thinking Reading have won the Simod Cup already. There's still 29 minutes to go. And although they've got a comfortable 2-goal lead, as they say so often, funny things happen in football. Donaghy. That's a good run by Allinson. Francis is out of goal. No time to muck around with it there. Wilson. In for Steen. Black. Harford. Good move this for Luton. Wilson. Good strike. That was McDonough arriving late on the scene. Never really troubling Steve Francis. Smiley wins that one. Good turn. Away he goes again. Neil Smiley having a wonderful afternoon. McDonough now for Luton. Grimes showing Black where he wants him. Steen gets the flick. Richardson up well. Bevan. Referee Martin spots an off-the-ball incident. Allinson perhaps getting just a little late on Stevie Rich there. Jilks up well against Foster. Taylor. Luton pushing up much more in this second half. They had to, quite frankly, because Jilks and Tate were getting acres of space in the first 45 minutes. Breaker. That's aimless, really. Richardson will take his time. Pushed by Donaghy on Tate. More opportunity for Reading then. Jones out wide on the right. That's a good run by Jones. Is it going to go all the way? I don't believe it. It's come out wide to Smiley. Right-footed. It's there again. I don't believe this. Reading have taken a 3-goal lead. It's Luton 1, Reading 4. Neil Smiley. must mean Reading are going to win the Simod Cup. Great run by Lyndon Jones. Looked like he was going to go all the way, got a half a shot in. Neil Smiley got the whole shot. 4-1. Surely there can be no way that Reading can throw this away now. They're in such command, Luton really looking demoralised. And they must be wondering what's hit them. Grimes will try again. Harford. Good ball into Allenson. Allenson chance. Bever, no. That's it clear. Anywhere will do. Foster back to Seeley, and Seeley really hasn't been left with a chance on any of the goals. Reading have torn the Luton defence apart on each occasion, and the finishing, well, it's been of the highest order. Hicks and Harford. Richardson up well. Smiley tries to hook it away. Harford. Harford playing almost a midfield role now, letting push him deeper and deeper in search of the ball. Perhaps that's a sign of the dominance the Royals have shown here this afternoon. Harford has it now though. Allenson switched wings since Black came on, cutting inside on his left foot. Steen's got space, can he get the shot in? He's cut inside Hicks. Reading crowded him out though, good defending, got round the ball, but Black has it. Black tries to cross. Bailey gets his feet in the mess and it's a corner for Luton. Opportunity perhaps for Luton to pull something out of this game. Halfway through the second half, Luton 1, Reading 4. Ian Allison will take the corner. Harford's there, he got the head on it. And Harford rose, he couldn't quite get high enough to get above it. It was a good effort under pressure from Hicks. Jilks up well, winning against Foster, incredible. Taylor and Jilks is away. What can the young man do this time? Jones, good ball into the box. Donaghy does well. Not a moment's respite for the Luton back four. Les Taylor and Stuart Bevan must have covered acres of this Wembley turf this afternoon. Away by Taylor. Donaghy. Harford up well. McDonough looking for Black. Harford on the edge of the box. Bailey's in first. Bevan up well against Wilson. Come to Grimes. Allenson, good reverse ball. Grimes get there? Lyndon Jones did. read the dummy. And what a run by Colin Bailey. Tate. Taylor's made a superb run through the middle. Gilks. Gets the cross in. No. Side netting. Gilks been a little more subdued in the second half, but after the explosive acts of the first, then that doesn't really matter. Gilks, remember, scoring the goal which put Reading back in the game in the 21st minute. That exquisite chip over Les Seeley. Then he won the penalty, which put Reading perhaps on the way to what must now certainly be Simod Cup success. Nice play between Grimes and Steen. Donna. Allenson turns Richardson. Out to Black. He's round Jones. It's a good ball in for Steen. Curl needed to get there. So did Stuart Bevan. Must be some tired legs out there now. I wonder whether manager Ian Branfield might change it. Allenson will take the kick. Grimes can play it in now. Allenson. Directed at Steen. Couldn't quite get the touch and there was room there. Marking with a right air. High up and under from Martin Hicks, possibly the first we've seen this afternoon. An indication of the type of football Reading have been playing here at Wembley. None of the up and under stuff. It's been good, clinical football. Harford, lovely touch to Black. Allenson looking for Breaker. Breaker gets the cross in. It's a good cross to the far post. Steen couldn't quite get there. Curl and Bailey doing a good job. Another corner for Luton though. Inland Jones, socks rolled down to his ankles. Got through a lot of work in that midfield role. Steve Richardson up well. Allenson can play it in again. Harford's under it. It's on the edge of the box. Wilson has an attempt. What a mad scramble. Reading almost getting themselves in a pickle. End of the day, that will be a Reading throw. Perhaps the signs of the Luton's frustrations there. Danny Wilson just having a little bit of a niggle with Stevie Rich. No sign of the two Reading substitutes, so perhaps manager Ian Branfield has told Gary Peters and Jerry Williams to get warmed up and get in there and have a taste of this marvellous occasion. Foster doesn't get that one. Tate nearly did. Come to Jones. Inland Jones looking absolutely exhausted. He won't be the only one, of course. The lush Wembley turf, infamous for the sapping effect it has on players' limbs. Donaghy has time and space. Didn't make the best use of it. As we enter the last 15 minutes here at Wembley, Reading cruising really to lifting the Simod Cup. They lead by 4 goals to 1. But Kingsley Black will try and do something about it. Good ball from Harford. Grimes is behind the defence. That's aimed towards Allenson. Great challenge by Richardson. Wilson has a chance. Miscued completely. Sums up Luton's afternoon. In the second half, I think Steve Francis has had just one real save to make. It was from a header by Mick Harford. Gilks winning it against Foster again. Hicks will watch that one back. Just been handed the attendance here at Wembley. A marvellous 61,740. And looking around the ground, I'd say a good 40,000 of those are here from Reading. Tremendous turnout from the people of Berkshire. It really just shows you what kind of potential this club's got. They've come to enjoy the day, and let's face it, the team have done them proud. Cool as you like from Steve Richardson. Smiley, another run for him perhaps. Reading trying to make a substitution on the far side. Referee Martin spots it. Lyndon Jones it is who goes off to be replaced by Jerry Williams. Special moment for Jerry Williams, one of the longest serving players on the umpire staff. And he deserves his run out. Let's face it, Reading 4-1 up, in control. It's only fair that everybody should get a taste of this special day. Tremendous performance from Lyndon Jones, though he's, as ever, run his heart out for the Royals. Bevan has it. Taylor. These two have worked superbly in the midfield. Williams have gone offside, though. Difficult to adjust to the pace of a game like this where it's so open. Hicks loses out for once, and it's with Allenson. Allenson cutting past Richardson. Can he get the shot in? Left foot. Back pass, really. Allenson now finds Black. Allenson. Grimes. Luton ready, running into corners. But Grimes comes away with it. Curling well. McDonough. Wilson's still there. So is Martin Hicks. And that summed up the determination Reading has shown this afternoon. Tate against Wilson. Free kick, says referee Martin. And this could be in a dangerous position for the Royals. Luton trying to make a change. Bob Johnson, the second substitute. Looks like Brian Steen's the man to go off. So Reading have seen the back of both the Steen brothers this afternoon. That's something you can hardly have thought would have happened back at 3 o'clock. See Gary Peters doing some stretches beside John Hazelden there as well. Perhaps Ian Bramford's going to stick the veteran utility player on to give him a taste of the Wembley day. Free kick for Luton though. 10 minutes to go. Harford's there. Francis did well. Good header by Mick Harford though. Got to give him credit, he's kept working all afternoon when the side hasn't really been playing at all well. That, of course, because Reading have been so good. McDonough. Smiley now, good position. Aim towards Tate, could he get there? Offside anyway. Another good ball in from Neil Smiley though, he's had a wonderful afternoon on this left flank. Breaker. Bevan up. Hits. Looks for Jerry Williams. Offside. Williams thought he might have got away with it. Flag had been up for a while though. Aim towards Hartford. Richardson beats Amundsen. Breaker. Well worked, Neil Smiley. Johnson, first touch of the game. Allenson. And that really sums up Luton's afternoon. And what a moment for Gary Peters. Last year of his tremendous professional career, comes on for the last 8 minutes, replacing Mick Tate, scorer of Reading's third goal. And Tate really has done the Royals proud up front this afternoon. Peters will enjoy this. Late tackle from Hartford there on Richardson. Kept going this afternoon, Mickey Hartford, and his breaker, getting forward for once. Allenson. Wilson. Taylor did enough, and Williams with his first touch of the game. Long back pass, to say the least. Reading just playing out these closing moments now. Just entering the last 5 minutes of the match. What a glorious afternoon it's been. The score, in case you need reminding, Luton 1, Reading 4. And this will be a result which will always be remembered in Reading's football club history. Grimes. Luton again fizzling out when it matters. Reading been in complete control since Neil Smiley scored that fourth goal, and the ribbons must already be on the cup. Hicks in well. Peters yards offside. Gary yet to touch the ball. Up by Harford. Comes to Johnson. Wilson. Harford. Got their lines crossed, and Peters touches it for the first time. Long ball forward, looking for Gilks. And he could stretch those legs one more time. Puts Donaghy into trouble. That's good enough. Williams. Deep cross. Reading fans want the whistle to go already. Still got the better part of 4 minutes to go though. No doubt about where the cup's going though. Taylor. Williams again went too early. Smiley and Richardson sorting it out. And away comes Neil Smiley. Cheeky back heel. It's exhibition stuff ready now from the Royals. 2.5 minutes to go on my watch. They all want to touch now. Breaker finds Johnson. It's in towards Harford. Peters holding things up well. It loses out to Wilson. Good run by Wilson, who's another one who's kept going for Luton this afternoon. Allenson. Harford. Johnson looks for Harford. Taylor. Can he get Jury away? Grimes. McDonough's been very quiet in these last 20 minutes after an industrious afternoon's work. The countdown's on. The celebrations have already started on the terraces. Reading seconds away from the first major trophy in their history. And the noise when that final whistle finally goes will be deafening. What a moment. Time up on my watch. Referee Martin's the man that matters, of course, but Reading are seconds away. Hicks wins one last aerial battle with Harford. McDonough. Johnson for Grimes. Luton trying to save something in the dying seconds. Bevan. Down to walking pace now, they're so tired. But Reading keeping the ball. And there goes referee John Martin's final whistle. Reading are the 1988 Simod Cup winners, and just savour that reception. Manager Ian Branfoot has to be the proudest man in the world at this moment. His side have done him and the town proud. A 4-1 victory, beyond anybody's wildest dreams really. And when Mick Harford put Luton in front in the 13th minute, it looked like things could be going wrong. But we should know better with this Reading side by now. And back they came, and they came back with a vengeance in the shape of Michael Gilks. Gilks it was who equalised in the 21st minute. Gilks it was who was brought down for the penalty in the 26th minute for Bevan to score. And then icing on the cake in the second half from Mick Tate and Neil Smiley. Luton collecting their losers' medals, obviously bitterly disappointed, but they'll be the first to admit they were played off the park. Martin Hicks climbing the 39 steps to glory to collect the first major trophy in Reading's history. That's what it's all been about. Chairman Roger Smee, what a happy man he must be. 5 years ago saved the club from almost extinction. That ill-fated merger with Oxford United, that seems a long way away now. Stuart Bevan, one of the club's loyalist servants, what a moment for him. Keith Curle, a winner again at Wembley. Not many players can say they've been there 3 times in successive years. Steve Richardson, what a game he had. But you can't single anybody out. What a performance. Steve Foster, twice a loser at Wembley. This a moment for the team, club officials, the fans, anybody remotely connected to Reading Football Club to just enjoy. Reading well and truly on the soccer map. Signalling to Steve Moran and Billy Whitehurst up with us in the TV gantry. Two players who missed out on today because they were cup-tied. But that typifies the team spirit here at Elm Park. And the players determined to milk this one out for all it's worth. And who can blame them? Scenes of unmitigated joy on the Wembley turf. I think they're going to have to drag them away because the Reading players just don't want to leave this arena. And there's the man who's brought them there, manager Ian Branfoot. Tremendous display by Reading, a day that will always be remembered by anybody who's been here. Fantastic stuff, a day never to be forgotten.
Nice little round up. Stephen, this oh! Brilliant now. It's a brilliant. Watford boys.
Chairman Roger Smee with the first of many glasses of champagne, perhaps. A night to savour in front of the Reading players, and a day to remember.
Well done.
Yeah, Preston will never get their hands on that, so...
Eh?
Preston will never get their hands on that. Hey, that's somebody get a camera!
Yes. Oh, it's 6 shots there. I bet you've been on it.
Okay, very good.
I'll put the lid on it. That'll fall off there, Charlie. You've been photographed all day today, Charlie. You've been on television. Still back. Fair enough. Fair enough to begin. Still back.